Hello, Freedom Nation, and welcome to a blustery January day in Texas. We're actually raining, and we're getting a little bit of cool weather for a change. It's been like summer since summer at this point. So welcome to the new year. We've done one show so far this year. This is show number 2, and I have today Vlad Tayman on. Vlad is a professional trader, and he's going to talk to us a little bit about how you might, whether you're sitting in a cubicle or you're running that business and looking for another source of income, be able to create a source of income using some trading strategies. So stay tuned. We'll be right back on in just a second.
All in you. Everything you're looking for, it's all in you. You gotta believe that it's all in you. Everything you're searching for, it's all in.
Hey everybody, welcome to the show. Vlad, how are you, my son or my friend?
How you doing, man? Thank you for having me.
I am
on the
well.
show.
I am glad to have you on. Looking forward to the conversation today. We do some similar things from a trading perspective, so love to have that conversation and talk about how people can integrate trading into their income generation.
No, I appreciate it. Before we just get going, I want to say I did listen to a few of your shows,
Yep.
and just want to say you do an amazing job. You bring a lot of value. So if anybody's listening, man, definitely give this gentleman 5 stars. Jeff provides a lot of values. I already gave him 5 stars, gave him a review, just so we could really spread this message, because the message of freedom is not spoken the right way a lot of times. So just want to give
It's
you the
spoken a lot. It's just not spoken the correct way in a lot of instances.
No, a lot of the messages you have are really resonating. So
Awesome. Well, thank you for being on. Thank you for those kind words. Let's get us started. Why don't you tell us your story? How'd you get to where you are today?
well, let's just say this. A lot of people right now, the way it is for me right now, a lot of people call me and connect me to give them the right path to making proper money consistently. But it wasn't always that way. I wish it was. My road definitely had a lot of ups and downs. So I came from a world of corporate America.
Okay.
Originally, I was an immigrant from Ukraine. So
Okay.
I came here long time ago. I traveled. It was very hard to get to this country. So people who get here, I was actually part of the refugees, and we were getting traded for food, basically. So getting here was tough. But when I got here, one of the things my parents said, look, we got you to this country. It's a country of freedom. We want to make sure you succeed. And I took that very seriously. So corporate America, when I got into it, I was happy. I wanted to get to the very, very top. And I started there, I think 18. And by the time I was like 25, I was at the very, very top. I was a director of training. Nice. Working the whole Northeast for a Fortune 500 company, really doing great. Money was good. Everything was pretty good. But at some point, I feel like things have changed. So I remember specifically, this is going back years ago now, but I was in a meeting. I presented a lot, and was 84 people in the room. And I started feeling dizzy. And I've never really had this, because I'm pretty sharp when I was talking to people about what I was talking and training and developing. And all of a sudden, the whole room started spinning.
Wow.
Didn't know what was wrong. Remember sweating, and I just started like mumbling. And people were like, are you okay? So I asked for some water, went to sit down. And it was a feeling of basically like I was in a dream. And which is okay if it happens once in a while. This happened, and it wouldn't stop.
Yeah.
And I had a boss. There's a lot of stress on me at the time. And I realized something has to change, because I couldn't function. And I knew this was happening over years, because I would just put so much on me, so many hours, but I wanted to succeed. And one thing I realized, the biggest mistake I made was, I thought money equals happiness.
Yeah.
And which is somewhat true, but then I had to realize happiness is happiness, money is money. You should be making money, but you don't have to necessarily have it to be happy. You could have both.
Yeah.
But I had my identity to that, and I just stressed myself out to a point where I had to take off.
Hmm.
And when I took off, I had to get hospitalized for a while because they didn't know what was wrong with me. They checked my heart, they checked everything, and I just couldn't walk. I would get scared to leave my house.
Jeez.
Anyways, it was bad. And my issue was eventually I had to realize that maybe I was just getting some sort of mental health. It wasn't really known, which makes it worse. But when I talked to my boss, he said, well, we're going to have to get somebody else, because I wasn't getting paid at the time. And that's where the stress comes in, because when you build your life to such an extent and this is all you do, what do you do after? How do you support that lifestyle? So at that point, I realized that I need to make a change. So, but I couldn't. I was thinking how to do it. And I've tried trading, actually. I thought that would be good, but I've day traded. I've tried penny stocks. I've had somebody trade for me, and I lost money every time. So I knew that wasn't going to be the way. I know that for a fact, because maybe I wasn't smart enough. So I opened up a sandwich shop. And mind you, I was doing that while still working the other job. I had to go back because I didn't have money.
Because you weren't stressed enough at this point. You needed to add a small business on top of this.
Well, they kept talking about, I was watching a lot of things about the rat race, right? There's people you don't want to be in the rat race. I'm like, no, I'm very determined. I'm in it, but I'm going to get out of it. But how do you get out of a paycheck to paycheck job that was paying you so much? You have to support a lifestyle. And at that time I had a kid. I just had a child. I was like, I have to do it. So I did both. And I ended up underperforming at work. And the business got shut down because I didn't know what a sandwich shop was. It was really bad. So I ended up again having a similar attack, but then at the same time dislocated my shoulder. And so I had to take off work again. But this time around, I was like, all right, I'm going to be off. I'm not going to get paid again. But I had to figure something out. I thought about real estate. I thought maybe that would be the way to go. And I talked to a gentleman who, very similar to you, very successful, really about the proper way to have freedom. And he told me, I know you want to do real estate, but it's not going to happen. He's like, you're too busy. You're obviously stressed. You have bags under your eyes. Like, it's just too much for you. So he recommended trading. He's like, but I'm like, nope. I'm not gambling. I'm used to a salary. That's it. And he's like, listen, it sounds like you've tried it before. I get it. But here's what I'm going to tell you. That's what he told me. And he's like, there are no shortcuts. A lot of people trade. But at the end of the day, you got to your career by taking years out of your life to get to the top. Everybody in trading thinks it's going to take a strategy, a magical AI bot or something. What you really need is a strong foundation. Somebody who's going to teach it to you in a way where you could actually, believe it or not, collect a predictable income. People don't believe that, but I know you do because we talked about it. You do something very similar where you could actually trade, know the probabilities, and collect a paycheck. And I'm like, so I could make money knowing how much I'll get right away. He's like, if you do it right and you take the time and get mentored, you will, but that's your only way. So, and that's really when I sat there and said, you know what, if I'm going to raise my daughter, not be a crappy husband and travel every week, literally, and not have a business that's going to kill me like the sandwich shop did, because that was just even worse. It's like, it's a job with risk. I had to do it the right way. So I said, okay, we'll meet once a week. And that was the first time I was able to do two things and grow my account on the side.
Nice.
And eventually I got fired. But it wasn't so bad because I already had this skill. And at that time I made a decision, you know what, I'm going to continue this. And because I love training, I started teaching others to do it.
Very cool.
That's my story. I'm sticking to it.
All right. I love it. So let's talk a little bit about trading. Now, it's a big scary for a lot of people, that they hear about how people have made money, but they hear a lot of people who've lost money doing it, mainly because they're not consistent. They bounce around with a lot of stuff. That's been my experience. Versus having a strategy that, okay, I keep doing a similar thing over and over and over again, generating just a little bit of result every time. So let's talk a little bit about some of the strategies you use. So What's the investment vehicle you all use most often?
So for me, I found that I loved stocks,
Okay.
and then I thought stocks was a great way to, I found it to be more predictable because understanding companies. But then we switched over to options because there's a lot more options with options, which I
Sure.
thought is amazing. I mean, you could make money with a small bank account. So I love that. But my
Hmm.
main thing, what I've learned is, because I've talked to people who do Forex, crypto, all of the day trading, and
Hmm.
at every field, they all make money. There's people
Yep.
in it that make money. But the one commonality I've learned is the people that make money have a very strong understanding of the basics,
Hmm.
whereas a lot of times the other people don't. So to me, once you get the basics, once you understand, you could really learn anything. You could really utilize the same psychology anywhere. But for me, options was the way to really capitalize because of the fact that you have such amazing selling strategies, which a lot of
Hmm.
people don't really realize. Which I'm most surprised. The first thing you told me, you do calendars presents. Like, oh, really? I did not expect that
Yeah.
answer.
Yep.
So, which is amazing.
Mhm. So we've talked. I mean, we use some similar strategies and stuff like that. I
Yeah.
use weeklies, so
Mhm.
I've been doing that for 2.5, 3 years now.
Yeah.
Had really good success with it. Now there are time periods where the market kind
Yeah.
of decides it wants to go someplace else, and
Yeah.
I've learned at this point that when that happens, I just kind of step by the side and let the train keep going and then come back in. How have you handled volatility in the markets, the little downturns we've seen over the last couple of years?
So the biggest thing I do is weeklies to me is how I started. I
Hmm.
felt like weeklies, the reality, if you do it the right way, maybe you set up some Bollinger Bands, things like that, it's about a 90% chance of winning.
Yep.
The issue I had with it personally is when you lose, oh man,
Yeah.
it could hit
You
hard.
lose big. Yeah.
You lose big, right? So when I really looked at it, am I that good at timing the market?
Hmm.
My opinion, no. Because with weeklies, you have to collect that paycheck. You have to wait for it to expire. Basically, that's
Hmm.
the game.
Yeah.
So what I did is I changed it around a little bit. And what I did is I said, you know what? What if we go out 30 to 60 days?
Hmm.
And now you might think like, well, yeah, but that's long. Like, I don't want to wait. Well, I always look at it, look, I'm going to play the weekly. I'm going to play the daily. I don't care. The
Hmm.
way I look at it is I'm going to play this directional play, right? Whatever I think it's going to go up. I think
Hmm.
it's going to go up in 2 days. But what if I'm wrong? That
Hmm.
those 30 to 60 days is my insurance. Because if it goes up, I could get out right away. I set up an exit
Hmm.
order.
Yep.
So I'll set up another exit order around 8 to 10% profit. I'm not going crazy. And if I get out quick, I reinvest that money to another trade.
Okay.
So that way, the reality is, if someone's new trying to learn that, you could be really wrong. Because if you think about it, if you do a monthly to a 60 days, you could go so
Hmm.
far out. You could literally, the stock could go way against you, and you're still collecting
Hmm.
your premium. You just wait a
Yeah.
little longer.
Hmm.
So to me, that gives me a peace of mind, and it's okay if I don't. Now, do I usually, on average, I hold a position 2 to 4 days.
Okay.
But I've had situations where it didn't go my way, and I held it for 34 days, and it was fine because
It works itself out. Yeah, in a lot
it
of
worked
cases,
itself
it'll
out.
just work itself out. So that's intriguing. I mean, and I've not heard of anybody using that strategy of saying, "Hey, I'm gonna sell longer, and then okay, if I make the profit that I'm looking for, boom, I'm out and on to the next one." At that point, that's very intriguing. I like that.
Yeah. So to me, it's collecting because I don't know. A lot of people did not talk to me when I was learning options. They would talk
Mm.
about expiration. That's what they would
Yeah.
talk about. Well, let it expire. Let it expire. But then when I looked at it, it's like, well, how come it's my premium is, let's just say, 15%. Okay.
Yeah.
I like to keep the numbers low. I don't like to go too high. 15% max. But
Mm.
then if I hold it for 30 days, but if it goes up a little bit, I could collect 7 to 10% in a day.
Yeah.
So what I do is I set up a GTC order, good to
Mm.
close or whatever, and basically if it hits 10%, I'm living a busy lifestyle. I have
Mm.
business. I'm doing all that. I don't have to worry. It just goes beep in my phone. Oh, I made that money, and then I reinvest it. So
Nice.
at the end of the day, I look at it like this: no one is 100% at timing the market. So let me
Hmm.
be wrong and make money.
Yeah. Yeah, I like that. Well, and like I said, it does give you time, because that is where it can go really wrong really fast, and where I've seen the biggest trading losses where the market moves quickly on a stock or something, and next thing you've been eking away making really nice little profits, and then wham, that gets knocked back, and you're
Yeah.
literally starting from ground zero again and building back up. So I do like that strategy. I mean, I think it makes a lot of sense, and it gives you a little bit of a little bit of wiggle room in there.
Yeah.
How far out do you typically do? So we're talking too much shop. Let's go back and kind of explain what those calendar spread strategies are, so that people understand what we're talking about.
Okay, yeah, I do more of a vertical and calendar, but yes,
Okay.
essentially what it means is, let's just say, keep it simple, right? You have a stock that's at $100.
Mm-hmm.
The typical approach is, well, if the stock moves up, I make money.
Mm-hmm.
If the stock stays still, you don't make money. If the stock
Mm-hmm.
goes down, you lose money. So
Yeah.
you have it's basically, in a nutshell, a 1 in 3 chance.
Mm-hmm.
But with this strategy, essentially what I'm saying is, if the stock doesn't go anywhere or goes against you
Mm-hmm.
to a certain point, you still make money. But if it goes up, like you said, you get rewarded by getting it early and getting out. So
Okay.
and the reality is, here's what people get like, no, this can't be real. I tell them you have a 93% chance of win. And why I could say that, right? Like, that's awfully specific. That's a claim. Like, you can't make that claim. Well, I don't, because what I do is I use something called the 0.07 delta.
Mm-hmm.
So I look at it, you could go so far out, and people don't realize you could buy this thing. So you're saying, basically, in a nutshell, if you've never traded and your stock goes to 90, which is $10 below what you're thinking, or $80 below, you're still making the same exact money. You know the exact amount that you're making because it's in your account. So it's a paycheck. You
Yeah.
could literally say, I want to make $421.37. Where else can you say, okay, yeah, you could, like, if you wanted to do that, you know how to do it right now. You could do it for me right now. Click. And so my main concern with those type of strategies is, number one, it's easy for a new person to understand and not worry about losing, but you can't be greedy. That's the number one thing. Like, a lot of people, what I notice is they're like, oh man, yeah, I could click it here. Well, I could click it here, make 70% profit.
Mm-hmm.
Well, there's rules for that. So we always stick to a certain amount of distance.
Mm-hmm.
And the more distance you get, the less you make, but the more insurance you have. And usually we found the area of the 0.07, you have a 93% profit per chance of winning, which if I go to the casino with a 93% chance of winning, I'll do that every time.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. No,
So
absolutely. I mean, but it sounds like that eliminates some of that bad downside that you see with weeklies at that point.
yeah, that was my thing with weeklies, because I've won weeklies literally. I think I had 18 or 20 trades in a row. Boom, boom.
Mm,
Because I would set up, I don't know how you do it through, like, outside the Bollinger Band. I had my own,
mm,
everybody has their
yeah.
own thing. Very, very, not hard. Two things I found one, it was hard to find enough premium.
Mm-hmm.
And two, man, I don't have the risk tolerance to see it go against me.
Yeah.
And then it would ruin my week. Because it's like,
Mm-hmm.
man, and then I would get, that's means. For some people, they don't mind. Cool.
Mm-hmm.
They'll handle it. They'll roll the positions over. I just never liked that. So
Yeah.
I'd rather have enough position to say, okay, let's just not even worry about it. Let me collect 8%, 10, 15% for the month. But if I'm right, which I'm usually am, because I'm good at charting. You or somebody else may not be good at charting. It's okay. That's why we give you so much time, so much distance. You could
Yep.
be really wrong.
Yep.
And
Are
I
you
think
tip-
that's. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Are you typically using puts for that?
No, no. So,
Okay.
well, I'm sorry. Let me explain. I don't sell like naked, so I do a spread.
Okay.
So,
Yeah. You
so I
just
buy
spread.
one
Yeah.
and sell one. So
Yeah.
it's both. So I do. I guess when you go like a bull put or so sometimes I'll do both. So
Okay.
an iron condor. But yeah,
Mm-hmm.
usually I like to be positive, so I'll do like I'll do a bull put. So yeah, I'll sell a put and
Yep.
buy, or I'll do the other side as well. So
Yeah.
either
Yeah.
way.
And so typically, just to explain to the audience, because we're talking once again a lot of shop. The
Yeah.
strategy I would use as someone who does weeklies is I'm going to go and I'm going to write or I'm going to buy a put, meaning that I'm buying the right to give somebody the stock if it goes down. And then I'm selling a weekly put. So that what that is like, okay, now I've bought insurance to say I can't go below X, and I'm selling a put that says I think that this stock is going to close above the point that I'm selling. So give you an example. The stock's worth $90. I might sell or I might buy an 85 put 3 months out, and I will sell right at $90 a put every week, or wherever it's at basically. And so my risk at that point is basically that distance between 85 and 90. That's the max that I can really lose at that point. And if it goes beyond either direction, basically I'm making money. What we were talking about is it doesn't give you a lot of room for error if the market kind of moves very quickly or that stock moves very quickly during a week. There's not enough time to make up versus Vlad's strategy, which is, okay, I might, and I don't know, how far out would you buy like your insurance protection?
35 to 60 days, depending.
Okay.
Anything
So
else after that is
you're
more of a
basically, yeah, you're basically about even, as far
yeah.
as time goes. Yeah. So your time value is about the same. Whereas I would go out 3 to 4 months, and my object is, okay, I want to keep selling those weeklies to pay off that insurance that I bought, and then I'm nothing but profit after that point. Vlad's saying, okay, I'm not going to pay as much for the insurance, but I'm going to give myself a little bit more wiggle room if I'm wrong at that point. So yeah, it's a very interesting strategy. I'm gonna have to kind of implement that a little bit in my trading to
It's
see,
peace of
just
mind.
how it works. Yeah.
The biggest thing I think, because I don't want to scare people out, it sounds like, whoa, what is he talking about? Putting? Who are you putting and who are you calling? What is going on here? It's, we both of us kind of know the game, but if you're new to trading, it starts simple. It starts
Yeah.
very, very simple.
Yeah.
And you learn stocks. Like what we do, I teach people stocks. Don't worry
Yeah.
about options. Don't worry about anything. Just learn how to read a chart.
Yep.
All that other stuff, you grow into it. But when a lot of people be like, "Hey, I'll teach you options." Whoa, I heard they're scary.
Yeah.
They are scary if you're trying to learn chapter 9 before 1 through 8.
Exactly. Yeah. You don't really understand how movement of stocks works and everything else. And yeah, I totally agree with you. I mean, you have to, if you're going to do any kind of trading, you have to understand charting. And fundamentalists will tell you, oh, it's charting is just, people make this stuff up. And the reality is both are there. I mean, you have to have fundamentals, because if the stock's a pile of crap, it's, people aren't going to invest in it. But what the charts tell you is this is where the stock is going. Here's the people are, they're either accumulating the stock or they're getting rid of, distributing the stock out. You need to understand that, because most of the people that are moving the market are slinging lots more money than you or I have around, and they can make a big difference in the market. And you need to either be on the front of the bow wave, of that big super tanker, or get out of its way if you're stopped in the water, because they can just pummel you into the water. So how do you, with your program, how do you start people off? Are they investing any money at the beginning, or are they just kind of paper trading to get started?
A good question. I'm going to lead with the fact that you mentioned, basically technical analysis, charting, right?
Yeah. Yep.
I'll tell you, I came with, when I started this, I was told to read patterns, right? I love that idea, but I'm very hesitant because it sounds like baloney to me, right? Like, what are you're going to draw some shapes, drawing a triangle, and that's supposed to be like, come on, like it's a scam. And the guy who did it with me is like, okay, you're right. Maybe you're right. But the cool thing about this is you don't have to believe me. So what he did is he pulled up a time machine, like I guess like a backtracking tool. And he's like, pull up any date we did. And he's like, okay, let me show you the pattern. You pulled up the date. Based on this is going to happen. Okay. And he was right like 90% of the time. And I'm like, whoa, he's like, how you probably memorize the whole market every day. I'm like, he's like, no. But what it made me realize is anytime anybody asks me, he's like, yeah, but how does this work? Supply and demand, these tools work for a reason. But if you don't believe it, let's look at a chart. It's been around since the 1800s. There's enough proof to look at patterns. It's not like I'm coming up with something for the future. Go back test it. And that's where it hit me like there's no argument. So it really works. So what we've learned, like what I've done is I realized that when I was going through my journey, I learned that there's a lot of good traders out there, a lot of great traders. Here's the only caveat to it. A lot of those good traders were not the best trainers. Like they know the strategy, but for somebody like telling me a calendar, so I'll literally come to them and look, what the heck is an option? Oh, bro, it's a call, it's a put, you put them together, and I'm like, what? And they mean well, but it makes me feel like less confident in me. It's almost like if they sucked, at least I know they suck, but they are legitimately good. So it took me a long time to get that. So what I wanted to do is create a program that's a little different, because to me, I'm not necessarily a trader. I'm a professional trainer who happened to trade.
Yeah.
So what I did is I created a program that explains things to the easiest term possible, so that it's easy to understand visually, whether, and we've had students who were cognitively impaired, but there was a formula that I found. Number one, having the proper breakdowns, but even that, no matter how good of a course is, you ever watch a video on something that was really good, but you have like 17 more questions? So that was me. So I would look at a course, I'd look at a book, and I'm like, whoa. And then from there, I needed somebody there. So we created one-on-one coaching, having your accountability, a community where ask anything, utilize that. So it gives you ultimate clarity. And no, you do not trade a penny for at least the first 30 days. Everything's in a time machine. So we could see how you're doing. And we always hope and pray that you lose money in the beginning. Just because a lot of people, oh, look, I made all this money. Look, I'm great. No. Follow the rules. So, and we entice people to follow the rules because we say, look, if you're not profitable with our rules, you don't pay anything. We refund you everything we give you. It's in writing. And the reason we do that is we need you to follow the rules, because if you follow the rules, you'll be profitable. But people tend to do good, okay in the beginning, and then they start, forget this rule. No, just follow the checklist. That's all you got to do. And we'll teach you, we'll get you along the way. Even after you learn the strategy, because sometimes people learn the strategy, and what happens then is they think it's fine. Well, no, because then other things appear. It's like learning how to play golf, and then all of a sudden, okay, now that you know how to swing the golf club, the game is different. So we're there for you and actually guide you along the way, because that's when the real learning starts. Eventually, after a few months, you're on your own.
Yeah,
and now you just have a community.
So talk to us a little bit about the course. How's the delivery of it? I mean, is there a kind of more of a DIY option, or is it all kind of that one-on-one kind of approach?
We do have courses that are DIY.
Okay.
I don't like them. I just want to be transparent. I tried and experimented with it. They just don't have the same results. And the only reason I say that is because, people watch the same stuff. And I thought, some people, it's like they're always in trading. I don't know. Like, you just explained some things about a calendar spread, right? I don't think everybody's in their mind right now. Oh, that's what that is. Oh, put in a call.
They have a clue. Yeah, no, and that's why I keep stopping and going, wait a minute, we're getting too technical here, because
exactly, and there's nothing you could do to really explain. I mean, maybe you've got miracles that actually, like, whoa, wait, this means what? Oh, you need to really break down the foundation. It takes time. Most traders don't want to do that. I've talked to them. They're like, no, I want somebody who already knows a decent amount and teach them. Like, if someone like you, like, hey, I already know trading, but you show me a little strategy. Like, you don't need me. You know what to do. You got the idea. You might ask me a couple of questions and like, okay, tweak. But for somebody brand new who's stuck in a job and they want to get out, or have a business that they're just maxed out and they just like, I need something, but I need give me a month. Let me really focus. Give me the same attention I gave my business, maybe even less, but just get the foundation and then I'll take off. It's just hard for traders, for most of them, to actually teach it. And that's all. It's just a personality thing and experience.
Yeah, absolutely. So how does somebody, if they're interested in getting involved or learning more, how do they get involved, or where do they need to go?
So what I actually listened to your program a little bit. I listened to 2 or 3 of your I really like what you
Yeah.
have. So what I decided to do, I actually created a little gift for your people
Nice.
exactly here. And what I did is I gave them just a free course and a
Okay.
free community, so they could just
Yeah.
join it. It's a simple link. When they click on the link, it'll be specifically exclusive to anybody for your Freedom Podcast, and they could
Nice.
just go in there. I want them to get a foundation, see what it's like, understand what it is, and if they want to take it further, they could take it further. But it's
Yeah.
totally free. There's no obligations at all. And again, they'll get a community. I'll go. They could go live with me, see my
Mm.
plays, and spread the word, spread the love.
Love it. What's that? What's the link to go to?
I'll provide it for you in the description.
Okay.
It's going to be with a /freedom, and it's
Yeah.
going to have everything there for you.
Perfect. Perfect. Excellent. Well, we'll get that from you, and then we'll put that into the show notes for everybody so that they can get in there and get some information.
Awesome.
Wonderful. So, Vlad, let's switch gears now and talk a little
Yeah.
bit about the Fast 5 questions now.
Okay.
All right. Okay. So, question number 1: you wake up in the morning, business is gone. You have a laptop computer, $500 in your pocket, a place to live. What are you going to do first?
I have $500 in my pocket. What would I do with that $500? And
Yep.
everything's covered. Everything's good
Yep.
to go.
Yep. You have a house, you have a place to live, you have food and clothing. You just don't have a business anymore. What do you do first?
I'll be honest with you, because I've seen what it could do. I would probably put it in our paycheck collector strategy and
Mhm.
see it grow. I actually, ironically, I started doing it with $700, and we have an account where I just want to see it compound over time.
Yeah.
You won't see much results in the first 3 months, but then the snowball effect kicks in. So I'd rather do
Yeah.
that than take a huge risk on something to go big.
Yeah. Yeah. Awesome. What's what's your biggest business mistake you've ever made?
Ooh, one?
Yeah, just pick one.
The biggest business mistake I made was when I opened up the sandwich shop. And the reason I think it's the biggest mistake I made, I learned a lot, is I was in retail. I was a trainer. I had a skill set. And
Mhm.
what I did, instead of stretching myself a little bit with what I know,
Mhm.
I went into a different field, invested a lot of money into something I don't know, and I had no control, and I was relying on other people's knowledge,
Mhm.
and that was a big mistake. So I've learned, if I'm going to get into a business, I need to know about it, and the only discomfort I should have is a little bit of a risk from the skills I already have.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. I like that. What's a good book that you'd recommend for our audience?
a good book. What's a good book that I like? Does this have to be an investing book?
Doesn't have to be anything. It's you share whatever you believe in.
I like the Highly Effective People, 7 Habits of Highly Effective People.
Okay.
That one kind of
All right.
sticks out to me. I really like that one. There's a lot of
Oh,
books, man.
very cool. All right. What's a tool that you use in your business every day that you might recommend to our audience?
That for everybody. Like, no, I'm thinking, I'll tell you what I use. I love this thing. It's called The Remarkable. You ever seen The Remarkable?
Oh, I love that. It's my baby. I have it right here in front of me.
No, you don't.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's, I find it's easy for me. I use the Remarkable because, when I'm meeting with clients and things like that, I
Yeah.
can take notes in the pad. And then when I connect up to the internet, I can upload that into like client files online, because I've really gotten away from any paper in my business at
Yeah.
all. And so that, like I said, it was awesome. So how do you use it with you?
Yeah, so I actually use it. So I connected wirelessly. I have it to my cloud, but also
Yeah.
you could connect it and share it on my screen. So I use it as a whiteboard when I present it to clients. I
Nice.
use it to take notes. I even, like, with AI now, like for my daughter, I'll create problems, math problems, things like that, and click button, download it right to here. Now she uses this to, do her work.
Do
She
the
loves
math,
this
yeah.
thing. It feels
Yeah.
like paper. It's crazy.
Yeah. Well, it does. And it was the only one. I had tried several, and it was the only one that actually feels like you're writing on paper.
Do you have the
Um,
Pro?
Yeah, I have the Pro, and I've the mine's the Remarkable 2. So I've owned it for probably 3 or 4 years. I mean, they
No,
keep
oh, you have the
updating it.
two?
I have the 2.
You got to try the Pro, the new one with the
Okay.
color. But if
Yeah.
it's a digital marker, it doesn't. It feels like 10 times more like paper.
That's awesome.
I'm telling you, it's
Yeah, I
great. So
mean,
yeah,
they keep updating the one I have, so I'm like, until it starts to not work right. I think one of the coolest new things is they've now got that capability of you can send like a spreadsheet over from your computer, and you can actually work on a spreadsheet inside of it, which didn't used to
I
be.
did
You
not
had to
know
use a
that.
tablet or something. Yeah,
I
it's
did not know that.
like in the last, so spreadsheets, Word documents, all kinds of stuff like that. So that used to
Wow.
be the problem, was okay, I couldn't work on that. It was basically just me writing on a document or whatever. But yeah, that's a new upgrade that they've just popped in like recently. So
Did not know that. I do. You
yep.
like it, use it as a keyboard too, like for free
Yeah.
writing. It's like, oh,
Yeah.
that thing is cool too. So it's
Yeah.
great. Sorry, I
Yeah.
got a tangent on my
I know.
gadgets.
No, once again, I'm a huge fan. I've used them for years, and I mean, everything is in there. So anytime, I even have books in there, so that if I'm sitting someplace,
Same.
it's always with me, and I just have my PDF books in there and things like that. Well, great.
Absolutely.
Last question for you. What is your definition of freedom?
My definition of freedom, honestly, so to me, if you ask me in the past, being ultimately successful and then, making money and things like that. But then I've learned that success without ultimate fulfillment is ultimate failure.
Yeah.
So today, to me, yeah, I've taken out the equal sign. I think a lot of people have this equal sign where this equals that. Money
Mm,
equals happiness. And when I separated that and said, you know what, I'm going to make money because I want to make money, because I want to give myself permission to have money and get what I want. But then spending time with my daughter, my wife, and those type of things, that's fulfillment. So having a
yeah.
little bit of everything I want and being able to grow as a person and contribute to others, that's a big one for me. How do I
Mhm.
help as many people as possible? So that gives me the ultimate like feeling of the soul, I guess.
Mm. Yeah. Awesome. Well, Vlad, thank you very much. Thank you for sharing all that. If somebody wants to learn more about you, where's the best place to go?
Like I said, I would recommend either going to our website, trader.foundation, very simple,
Okay.
or check out the link I provided for you
That
here.
you'll get to
And
me. Yep. Yep.
yeah, and you
Great.
could check it out all there. Plus, you get free access to a lot of stuff that nobody else gets. So
Brilliant. Fantastic. Well, thanks for being on. We appreciate you being here and
thank
sharing your knowledge. And it was fun having that little technical conversation. So we appreciate it. And folks, I will tell you, I have a lot of people that want to get on this show that are investment people, and I protect you guys a lot from a lot of the people that I think are shams. He is not. The strategies he's talking about are very realistic. They're, if you follow the rules, they work. So I'd encourage you to go out, utilize the free resources that he's given you, and start to maybe build a little bit of an income stream. So thanks a lot, and we will see you guys back here the very next time.
All in you, everything you